Welcome to True Miracle Stories. In a world filled with difficult headlines and constant noise, this is a place for real stories of hope, faith, and unexpected moments of good. These stories are shared to encourage and remind us that even in the hardest seasons, light can still find its way through. The phone had been ringing all morning. He watched it from across the kitchen table. Buzz. Stop. Buzz again. Same number. Unknown. He didn't answer. Lately, most calls meant something he didn't want to deal with. Bills. Follow-ups. Another reminder of everything that hadn't gone the way he thought it would. So he let it ring. Again and again. Until finally it stopped. A few seconds later, the voicemail notification appeared. He stared at it, then looked away. The coffee in front of him had gone cold. The house felt quiet in a way that didn't feel peaceful anymore. Just still, too still. A year earlier, life had looked different. He had a steady job, a routine, a sense of direction. Then the company downsized. At first, he wasn't worried. He had experience. He had references. He had confidence. But weeks turned into months. Interviews that felt promising never led anywhere. Emails stopped coming. Calls stopped coming. Even the people who once said, "We'll stay in touch," slowly faded out. The hardest part wasn't just the job. It was the feeling of being forgotten. Like somehow, without realizing it, he had become invisible. That morning, the silence felt heavier than usual. He picked up his phone, stared at the notification, then finally tapped it. The message played. "Hi, I hope this is still your number. You don't know me, but I came across your name through someone we both know. I'm helping out at a local community center, and we're looking for someone to help organize a few programs. It's not much, but I thought of you. If you're interested, give me a call back." He frowned slightly. A community center. It wasn't what he had been applying for. It wasn't part of the plan. But something about the message felt different. There was no pressure in the voice, no urgency, just a simple invitation. He almost ignored it, almost set the phone back down and moved on with his day. But instead, he called back. The next afternoon, he walked into a small building he had driven past dozens of times but never noticed. Inside, the space was simple. A few folding tables, bulletin boards with flyers, a group of kids laughing in another room. It wasn't impressive, but it felt alive. The woman who had left the message greeted him with a warm smile. "I'm really glad you called back," she said. They talked for a while, about the programs, about what they needed, about his background. "It's not a full-time role," she explained gently, "but we've been trying to build something meaningful here. Just need the right person to help us get there." He nodded. Part of him hesitated. It wasn't the job he had imagined. It wasn't the salary he had hoped for. It didn't match the version of success he had been chasing, but something inside him felt a quiet pull, so he said yes. At first it was small things, setting up rooms, organizing schedules, helping kids with homework, fixing things that had been overlooked for years. But over time, something began to shift, not just in the space, in him. The days didn't feel as heavy. The silence in the house didn't feel as loud. There were names now, faces, people who noticed when he showed up, people who were glad that he did. One afternoon, a young boy stayed behind after a program. "Are you going to be here tomorrow?" he asked. He paused. "Yeah, I think so." The boy nodded. "Good. I like when you're here." It was a simple sentence, but it landed deeper than he expected, because for the first time in a long time, He felt needed. Months later, the community center had grown. More programs, more families, more life in a place that once felt quiet and overlooked. And so had he. Not in the way he originally planned, but in a way that felt real. One evening, as he locked up the building, he thought back to that morning, the phone ringing across the table, the call he almost didn't answer, the voicemail he almost ignored. Sometimes the things that change everything don't look the way we expect. They don't come labeled. They don't arrive as the opportunity you were waiting for. Sometimes they come as a quiet interruption, a number you don't recognize, a path you didn't plan, and a choice to respond anyway. Because sometimes, the life you're meant to step into begins with the call you almost let go unanswered. Thank you for spending this time with us. We share these stories for hope and encouragement, not as advice or guarantees, because every journey is different. If this story meant something to you, you are always welcome back.